All right, y'all. So Pacers Celtics is wrapping up right now. I still got it on the TV behind me right now. Jaylen Brown just stripped the ball from Pascal Siakam. There's about 40 seconds left. It's Celtics ball. They just called a timeout. They're already up 3. It's looking like this game is pretty much over. They have all the momentum now. There was a lot of very, very slappy moments for the Celtics down the stretch, especially for guys like Jason Tatum, but then there were guys like Drew Holiday that looked like they were perfect, especially just keep getting straight, easy layups all game. There was guys like Jaylen Brown who showed up, hit that big shot over Pascal Siakam to tie the game and eventually send it to overtime. I was thinking that he should have shot it as soon as he caught it off the pick and roll because he had the pick and roll, not the pick and roll, but the pick had created so much space off the inbound. I'm thinking you should have pulled it as soon as you get to the corner. He chooses not to, and the Celtics, hold on, am I tripping? Oh no, they were just showing the replay. Okay. He chooses not to, waits for Pascal to get right in his face. Pascal's so close to him, though, that he can't put his hands up because you got to think in your head, okay, do I put my hands up and know he's going to miss but risk fouling, or do I leave my hands down? And I'm so close to him, the contest is so big, he has such a little space, that do I just take the risk of him missing anyway and me not fouling and me getting the ball back, and we're up 3 now with the ball back in Boston. That's what the risk was. I personally agree with the decision. And the thing that a lot of people ask, and the thing that even LeBron tweeted about was, this is why you always foul when you're up 3 in this situation, no matter what. I agree. But the thing about it in this situation, I completely agree with what JJ Redick said. He said that the screen created so much space that Pascal never really had the chance to foul as soon as he got it. And that, I believe, is completely true. Drew Holiday just threw the ball off Tyrese Halliburton. It's still Celtics ball. There's 30 seconds left. They are up 4. 28 seconds left. So this game, like I said, is pretty much over. But I completely agree with JJ Redick that Pascal never had the chance to just go out there and just foul up 3 and just give them the 2 free throws, and then they get the ball back and the Celtics are forced to foul them. Hopefully you get it into the hands of a shooter, which Indiana has plenty of. That didn't happen. The Celtics picked up this win. Jason Tatum he missed a corner 3 that was open for NBA standards. He had a turnover. He missed a layup, but then he got these things back. He got an offensive rebound and then missed the fadeaway jumper right after. Oh, Indiana just scored. Okay, Boston up 4 still. 16 seconds left. They fouled Drew Holiday. This is just a fouling game now, which is why I'm making this video, but I'm still turning back because if the Celtics do somehow fumble this game, because we know what the Celtics have done, especially not just at home in the playoffs, but just with leads overall in general this year. So there's always a chance, especially with a team that is so good at shooting 3-pointers like Indiana is. But let's go ahead and talk about Indiana. Celtics. Let's just finish up with the Celtics real quick before we move on to Indiana. Celtics, you look like you need Porzingis back, bro. There was moments where Drew Holiday, especially, I think it was a block on Nembhard late in the 4th where it was like a fadeaway. He blocked him and then gets the ball to Tatum. Tatum gets fouled on the dunk attempt on the fast break by, I think it was Neesmith, and then Neesmith fouled out on that play. Yeah, that's what happened. What was my original point? Damn. I don't remember what my original point was. But it was, I don't know, bro. Just speaking of Boston, oh yeah, that was the one play that Horford looked really good, like defensively on the interior. He had some good moments. He hit some big shots. He definitely had a good game. But there were some of these shots where Al Horford's wide open, and it's like you trust Porzingis to make that more than you trust Al Horford to make that. And then you could always make the argument, well, then maybe Porzingis wouldn't be as open. Well, that's fine, but then that leaves driving lanes for guys like Drew Holiday who have the mismatch over a smaller guy like Tyrese Halliburton to just go ahead and go back into the paint even more. That gives guys like Jason Tatum, who are 6'10" and can get to the paint with ease, that helps them open up their game more, because now Siakam and whoever else is guarding him, Nembhard or whoever it may be, has to respect his drive game more, because you know that his center cannot help in. So if Jason Tatum drives, it's just a one-on-one, because you know your center Miles Turner cannot help in because he's out on the perimeter guarding Porzingis, because you can't leave him, and you're not a good enough defensive team to just make the rotations, especially when a guy like Obi Toppin, who's a good defender off the bench for you, had a bad game, especially when a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, a guy like T.J. McConnell, and Andrew Nembhard, these guys are too small to rotate over to a guy like Kristaps and really affect the shot. So these are some things that are going to happen. If Kristaps is able to come back this series, I think it'll make Boston's offense a lot better, and their defense, because of the shot blocking presence, just the height near the rim. It's not going to let T.J. McConnell get into the paint and dissect you so easily. It's not going to let Miles Turner open up his game offensively in the paint. It's not going to let Siakam do that. It's going to help with some of the rebounding. Now, I think you did win the rebounding battle tonight. I'm not sure. It definitely felt like you won the rebounding battle. If not the rebounding battle in total, then for sure the offensive rebound. It felt like it felt like Horford. It felt like Tatum. It felt like Drew Holiday. It felt like Derek White. It felt like everybody was getting offensive rebounds for you. And then when you have guys like Jaylen Brown, who had a good night offensively, but a great night with great moments defensively, that just is the cherry on top, because you have a guy like Drew Holiday, who are there primarily in this role, in this point of his career for defense, who's going out there and putting up efficient nights because he can just bully Tyrese Halliburton in the paint, and because he's getting some open threes, because it's not a good defensive team and they don't get back because they crash the glass and because they crash in the fast break and everything like that. So you had a lot of guys that were able to take advantage. You just kind of wish that this game would have been a little bit easier like this is a game that didn't really feel like it should have gone to OT. With the way that you guys felt like you won the turnover battle and the rebounding battle, I'm not sure if you won both, but it felt like you did. Tyrese Halliburton has some sloppy turnovers, not only in the fourth, but in overtime as well. It just felt like that this game should have been Boston all the way. Boston had a slim lead for like most of the third and the fourth, if I'm remembering correctly. Now, Indiana did have their moments where they would tie it, where they would get the lead. I remember specifically, I think in the third, they had a moment where they tied it and then went up maybe 2 or 4, and I was texting the group telling bro, the Celtics suck, even though I didn't really think the Celtics were going to lose this game. I was like, bro, the Celtics just suck. Now, let me say one thing. The Celtics pulling this out is a great sign, because if there was any game that you would have maybe been able to excuse the Celtics losing, it would have been this one. You have the Pacers, who are fully healthy, riding in hot off of a winning Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. You have the Celtics, who haven't played in I think 6 days, so basically a week. You have the Celtics, who have been bad at home in the playoffs and all year. You have the Celtics who have blown leads. This is one of those games where you could have seen Boston losing this game at home, just dropping the game 1, you know what I'm saying? Especially with how good Indiana has been on the road this season, you could have seen it, but that would have been a very scary sight for Boston, because Indiana is undefeated at home in these playoffs. So it's a really good thing that Boston did pick up this win. I think it's also a really good thing that Boston was challenged in this win, especially without Porzingis. It made Tatum step up. It made all these guys kind of get into form a little bit, which is something I think you need, but there were some bad signs. Tatum missed far too many open looks. Horford missed far too many open looks. You had guys making far too many mistakes. Tatum and Jaylen Brown included. You just had guys missing free throws. You had guys making far too many mistakes, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But let's move over to Indiana, because Tyrese Halliburton, you shot the ball so efficiently for the majority of this game, and for the majority of this game, I just again felt like you weren't aggressive enough. Pascal Siakam, for the majority of this game, you were really inefficient. Now you picked it up in the fourth, and props to you for doing that. It made your stat line look a little better. But if you watch this game, you know that these guys were looking majority inefficient. Honestly, they're except for Tyrese Halliburton, I'm talking about Pascal Siakam. He was looking a majority inefficient. You weren't getting too much from Aaron Nesmith or Andrew Nembhard offensively tonight. TJ McConnell was good. He was efficient. I don't even know if he missed a shot, but it's just like you're not going to expect TJ McConnell to give you 20 or anything, which he didn't. Miles Turner had a great offensive game and gave you 20 plus, was hitting threes left and right, was doing everything you wanted to do, was even getting blocks, I believe. And you guys still couldn't pull out this win. Now again, it's a very loaded Boston team. You did your best. It's a 3-point game right now with like 8 seconds left. I'm pretty sure it's Boston's ball. So again, I do believe this game is over. But it was just like, yeah, Tatum shooting the free throws right now. Let's see if he makes the first one, and he does. This game is over. Okay. So it was just like, I felt like Indiana has so many chances to win this game, and it just kind of felt like their youth and the inexperience of your lead ball handler, who's also your best player, in Tyrese Halliburton, with all the defensive guards they have, as their 2 primary defensive guards were just named to all defensive second team today. You saw the defense kind of fluster him a little bit in these bigger moments as the lights got brighter deep into the fourth and in overtime. You still saw him hit some dogs having a nightmare. You still saw him hit some threes. You still saw him have some big assists and everything like that. You still saw him have a overall good game. It was just that final possession in the fourth quarter. You need a better shot than that, Tyrese. I feel like if you pull that deep one, I'm happier with you pulling that deep one with a few seconds left on the clock than I am with that ugly, fully contested, 100% contested red 2K very late release jump shot at the end of the buzzer beater. I don't like that. I would have rather you taken the deep one, especially given the fact that you made a deep one earlier in the game from like damn near the logo. You were hitting crazy threes, deep threes, and insane threes the whole game. You hit at least 2 of them, and you just didn't want to shoot it there. You got Big Poppy in the house right now wearing his Fendi and everything like that, but like you got all these people, and I just felt like Tyrese Halliburton, I needed some confidence from you there in the fourth quarter. It just kind of felt like his youth, his playoff inexperience may have killed him a little bit there. Overall, I think Joe Mazzulla, I'm not sure what to think about him, bro. I still believe Ime Udoka would be the better coach for this job, but Joe Mazzulla, that didn't lose his game, and I think that was a testament to him. I think he called some timeouts in good moments. Ballsy move to use that first challenge literally like 30 seconds into the game, but it paid off. It paid off. The challenge worked, and you won the game. I'm not mad at you there. Luke Cornett was getting cooked by Miles Turner the entire time he was in. Like, you really want Porzingis back for that reason too, so that way Luke Cornett doesn't have to play as many minutes in this series, especially if you play the Timberwolves too, with all the bigs they have, especially with Naz Reid and Cat being so good offensively, they're going to cook Luke Cornett too. What they were doing was they were getting Miles Turner to. Luke Cornett is a guy that wants to play drop coverage. What they were doing was, it's Miles Turner. They were putting him in the screening role. You cannot do drop coverage on a guy that can shoot the ball as well as Miles Turner can. So what they were doing was they were getting him out on the perimeter. Well, he cannot guard on the perimeter. He's not laterally quick enough. He cannot stay in front of Miles Turner. Miles Turner was getting by him every time, getting free dunks. Sometimes he was hitting threes because in Luke Cornett's nature was his muscle memory was having him do drop coverage. So Miles Turner was just catching that thing. He's not fast enough. Now, he got some good buckets on the offensive end, and he had some good rebounds, I believe. I think he had a good offensive rebound, maybe too. But those are just things that you need him to do, that you need Porzingis to do instead of Luke Cornett. Those are the times where you need Porzingis to be guarding these guys, because even if he may not be fast enough, he has the length, being 7'3", being a shot blocker. He has the respect too, being athletic enough to get, you know what I'm saying. He has some bunnies, especially being 7'3". Like, he can get up, he can block some shots, even if he has a late closeout, he can contest those shots. Especially when Miles Turner is like, he's like 6'10". He's not a super tall guy. He's not a Wembanyama where it's hard for even Kristaps to get a contest. It's just not that. So I think for Celtics, if they had Kristaps, this would probably be a 4 or 5 game. But I am going to stick with my prediction of Celtics in 6. I think it was really good that they got tested in this game. I do think the Celtics just gained a lot of momentum with this win. I think the Pacers will probably lose game 2, but I do think they'll at least be able to steal one of those ones at home, and then I think they'll be able to steal game 5 in Boston. I think they'll be able to steal either game 3 or game 4 in Indiana, and then game 5 in Boston, because we know that Boston has not been a great home playoff team in the last few years for whatever reason, even though they were great at home in the regular season. Even at points questioning, could they go 41-0 at home? They didn't, but they lost like 4 home games. I'm pretty sure they went 37-4, something like that. So anyways, it was a good game 1, really good game 1, overtime. I learned a lot from this game. I think Tatum had a good game. I think Brown had a good game, a solid game. I think a lot of guys had solid games. I just think Porzingis is a big missing piece. I think that you are a little worried, though, because it's like, if Halliburton's more aggressive, if Siakam is more efficient early, you probably win this game if you're Minnesota. I mean, if you're Indiana. If Aaron Neesmith doesn't foul out, you might win this game. If you're even though he wasn't having a great game or anything, his defensive presence is still there. You might win this game if you're Indiana. It just doesn't happen. And but it was a good game. It was a very good game, 1 overtime game. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. Comment, DM me on Twitter, whatever y'all want to do, bro. I'm always listening to y'all. I'm always ready to respond to y'all, bro. I love y'all. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed, stay praying, keep God in your life, and I love you, bro.